Hi, this is Jeff Kober, and we welcome you to this Disney Insight. While it's been more than 5 years since Disney has opened up a brand new park in Shanghai, there is something to be said about the enormous transformation which has been underway for Disneyland Paris as a whole, and in particular, Disney Adventure World, formerly known as Walt Disney Studios Paris. Since Avengers Campus first opened, work has been on improving existing rides and shows, as well as creating whole new lands and attractions. Some 90% of the park's original offerings will have been redone, and its footprint will nearly be doubled in size. And beyond this, Disneyland Paris as a resort is very much reshaping its hotel experience and completely redefining the look and feel of its retail dining space, Disney Village. All these efforts and announcements come at a time when Universal has announced a new park in Bedfordshire, England, with a targeted opening date of 2031. Looking at the entrance to Disney Adventure World, you may not notice any immediate change. The front of the park will still look very much like a working studio, complete with its Eiffel Tower. But the rest of the park will be less about filmmaking and more about worlds that are found on the screen. So, stepping into the former Studio One soundstage, this massive space, into what will now be world premiere, you will be invited to do just that. Visit a Hollywood style premiere. At the opposite side of that soundstage will be a big theater marquee to the Disney Theater. The intent here is that you will step through its portals. You will then enter the many worlds of Disney, such as Frozen, Cars, Avengers, and The Lion King. Altogether, these park changes and additions add up to something of a 2 billion euro investment. Opening very soon on May 15th is the glue that ties the old to the new world premiere. There's always been a Hollywood style main street for the park here, one that was entirely enclosed. It was titled Studio One, and the spaces inside gave you a sense of being on sets themed to Hollywood. For instance, a restaurant in Coulis had a sort of brown derby look to it, but nothing like the one at Disney's Hollywood Studios. The space has been entirely refurbished with greater thematic details to give you the feeling that you've been invited to a glamorous premiere in the heart of Hollywood. A new quick service dining location, the Hollywood Gardens restaurant, and a Mickey's of Hollywood boutique are bookends as guests move from the front of the park to new areas being created. Speaking of new areas being created, a new Lion King attraction was announced at D23 last summer for Disney Adventure World. While Disney has done some remarkable musical shows around the world based on The Lion King, even at Disneyland Paris, it has never done a ride experience with The Lion King. Guests will make their way to the caves beneath a 120-foot high Pride Rock. Guests will then move through iconic scenes and sceneries from the beloved animated film. Guests will experience audio animatronics, special effects, and not one, not two, but three flume drops. The largest of these will be a 52-foot high descent. The film Mufasa, The Lion King, had a 722 million worldwide gross. Opening day weekend, though, it fell to second place behind Sonic the Hedgehog. Not good. Perhaps that helps explains why the new Lion King attraction here at Disney Adventure World is slated to feature the original 1994 animated film characters rather than the more recent live action remakes that was shown in the images at D23. It offered at that time a depiction of real animals. And the newest shots we see now are clearly featuring the animated versions. Clearly, Disney is sticking to the original Lion King. Interesting, when you study the two establishing renderings for Disneyland Paris's Lion King attraction, the original log, difficult to kind of see in the background, shows a straddle type seating similar to the original Splash Mountain, now Tiana's Bayou adventure at Disneyland. The new rendering, shown recently, shows a different log. But unlike the two-seater you see at Magic Kingdom or Tokyo Disneyland, this one is a three-seater. You can see the same thing in the indoor Hakuna Matata rendering, though it's kind of a little difficult to see. But here's the good news. For those who like to utilize single rider, like in Test Track, as most parties come in pairs or even numbers, this is going to leave empty seats and make it easier for single riders to fill. Construction on the new Lion King attraction, yet to be named, is in 2025, this year, and will be built around Adventure Bay, left of where the new world of Frozen is taking shape. That will open in 2026, and along with the Regal View Restaurant and Lounge, intended to create Disney princess experiences, construction for World of Frozen is well underway. As an indoor dark ride, it will not be as themed out and detailed as the one created for Tokyo Disney Sea, nor will it include a wandering oaken sliding sleighs as found in Hong Kong Disneyland. It has promised real animatronic faces, not projected ones like at Epcot, and many of them, that animatronics, apparently the number is over 30. Well, we're not sure if that number will actually include the Snowgies themselves. But it does look promising, and the appearance of this new world of Frozen looks impressive. The promenade that leads to Adventure Bay is, of course, Adventure Way. Disney announced previously that a spinner-style attraction based on Tangled would be created called Rapunzel Tangled Spin. Think small boats spinning teacup style. But Disney has now also announced that a family-style spinner swing themed to the Pixar Animation Studios film Up will open in Adventure Way as part of Disney Adventure World. This is similar to Silly Symphony swings in Disney California Adventure. The two attractions will, both it and Rapunzel, will round out the larger attractions created for Frozen and The Lion King. And at the center of all of it will be a new spectacular show in its 7,000 cubic meter lagoon. It will feature giant water screens and fountains and special effects like Disney California Adventure's World of Color. But it will also add new water drone technology. All this is set to open in 2026. When I stayed a couple of years ago at Disneyland Paris, my choice was to be at Disney Sequoia Lodge. With work starting in 2026, there will be efforts to enhance and elevate this resort experience while preserving its wooden decor and warm atmosphere. That won't be hard because the original architecture of the building was kind of a Frank Lloyd Wright prairie style sensibility. It didn't have a grand atrium entry like Disney's Wilderness Lodge, but it is in its own right a vacation destination in and of itself. And the sequoias transplanted from the United States and replanted here have now made the hotel a world unto itself. It is simply beautiful. The 1,010 rooms of Disney Sequoia Lodge especially will get a new look and feel. With a Bambi aesthetic, that wasn't too bad when I stayed there. The overall thing looked tired. Bambi will still be featured, but in a smart look and feel that plays to the architectural look and forest outside its windows. Hopefully, air conditioning will be an additional improvement to the building. European guests, and Parisians in particular, love all things Western. And this is one of 4 resorts on property that deal with Western style themes. Beyond the iconic Sequoia Lodge, there is the Disney Hotel Cheyenne, a moderate hotel that looks like it stepped out of the pages of an old West, Wild West TV show. Then across the way, Disney Hotel Santa Fe has a sort of curious Pueblo revival style architecture. This was redone a few years ago with a Route 66 Pixar Cars theme, which has really made it quite endearing. The last of all of these was the offsite Disney Davy Crockett Ranch campground with nearly 600 cabins. Just as the cabins have been replaced at Disney's for Wilderness here at Walt Disney World, so will the bungalows at Disney Davy Crockett Ranch in Disneyland Paris. These one and two bedroom interior spaces will be inspired by the adventures of beloved Disney characters such as Donald Duck, Daisy Duck, together with Junior Woodchucks. This thematic look and feel follows the same thematic theme as does Camp Woodchuck Kitchen in Tokyo Disneyland. Indeed, rather than losing Tom Sawyer Island, I think that space at Magic Kingdom would have done well with the same kind of thematic reinvention. The bungalows will be available after the 2025 summer vacation. Disney felt it had overspent on hotel rooms when Euro Disney opened. A new hotel hasn't been added to Disneyland Paris since it opened at Euro Disneyland back in 1992. The remodeling of the Sequoia Lodge along Lake Buena Vista was preceded by remodelings of the Hotel New York into a Marvel-themed look in 2021. It has some 350 impressive art features that make it the first Marvel hotel. On the other side of Lake Buena Vista is Newport Bay Club, and it had some remodeling back around 10 years ago. It too has a great look and feel to it. But there's been a space between that hotel and the Disney Village. Now it's been announced that a new hotel will fill in that space that has been used as sort of an event arena. No name or theme has yet been attached, but it suggests that Disney is feeling very optimistic about its expansion plans and how that will result in greater resort attendance. Let's talk about the Disney Village because honestly, it continues to transform with an entirely new look. Disney Glamour and Disney Style recently opened up their doors, offering a reimagined fashion and lifestyle shopping experience. The reimagining of the Lego store and Deco by Disney, a shop dedicated to homeware, interior decoration, Disney collectible items, that also has taken place. You want to check out these new stores. And by the way, everything at Disney Village is just feet away from not only the resort hotels, but especially from the Disneyland Paris Park and Disney Adventure World. All these shops continue to be transformed, and one of them to happen this fall will be the Disney store. It's going to close. It's the biggest store at Disney Village, and it's going to close its doors to become known as Disney Wonders, a sort of reimagined shop that will welcome all Disney franchises under one roof. And not only are shopping options expanding, but there's also quite a bit in store for dining too. Following the opening of Brasserie Rosalie in 2023, that restaurant has now expanded to offer a new terrace that will be called Petite Rosalie. Sports Bar and Lounge is also reopening with an all-new design, as well as additional seating and a new menu. And in 2026, same year that World of Frozen opens and Adventure Way, that whole part of the park, well, that's going to mark also the opening of a state-of-the-art McDonald's restaurant, in addition to a two-story Italian restaurant called Casa Giulia. Lots going on at Disneyland Paris, especially Disney Village. Looking at the renderings for Universal's new announced park in the United Kingdom, it's curious to look at the layout. It's difficult to exactly make out what the attractions will be other than something that looks like the Waterworld stunt show. To me, it has a similar layout to the one in Singapore, which, by the way, has a Waterworld Sun Show, with a Hollywood style entrance at the very front of the park. But the layout is also somewhat akin to what Disney Adventure World is constructing, with a very long promenade stretching from the front of the park to the back, all leading to a lagoon where you walk about the lake to a series of themed lands and attractions. There's also going to be a 500-room hotel and a retail dining and entertaining complex. Brits say they hate France, but tourism to Disneyland Paris is greatest from UK than any other European country, with possibly percentages of 15-20% coming from the UK in any given year. Disneyland Paris is a model of what is hoped for with Walt Disney World as it seeks to spend 17 billion in construction over the next 10 to 20 years. It's a mix of not only additions but improvements to both the four parks and to the resort itself. Shoring up all of this is part of the $60 billion investment strategy planned for Disney parks globally, with new experiences coming not only to Walt Disney World, but Disneyland, Tokyo Disneyland, Hong Kong Disneyland, Shanghai Disneyland, and finally, Disneyland Paris.